we're never a bore. You haven't heard it like this before. Yes, it's time to explore the things we care for. And though your jaw may hit the floor, we're still the weirdos you adore. We're the weirdos next door.
Hello, this is Nobi, he, him.
And this is Nicole, they, she.
And together we are
The
Weirdos Next Door. I was trying to be a robot there for a second. That didn't work, did it? No.
Yeah.
No, okay. Hello, everybody. This is the second in our
DomCon
series about DomCon for our supporters only. And we just got back. This is a piece of bread. We just got back yesterday from.
What the fuck?
I found a piece of bread here in my lap, and I just kind of threw it at the dogs, and they fought over it to the death. No, not to the death. They both licked it, and each had a little piece. They share very well.
Spoiled ass dogs.
So we attended the first day of DomCon yesterday, and we're going to talk about that really quickly, and then what we're going to try to see today. All right, so yesterday was interesting. First of all,
we stayed up way too late the night before,
which we tend to do.
Yeah. So our morning was kind of shot. We left late. Had to get gas, which was a whole ordeal in and of itself, because California and gas and yeah. Anyway, so we ended up making it down to DomCon just before about 2 o'clock, which was time for about the second group of classes.
But we had to register.
So that ended up not getting us through till about 2:30. So we opted to not go to the second class we had planned because we didn't want to. Well, I'm sure it was also standing room only, like most were.
Yeah.
But we just kind of like took that time we did some rounds around the marketplace and found some spots to lounge, scoped out the bathrooms, gotta know where those are.
Now, mind you, during all this is the first time I am trying to do
a convention in a wheelchair.
Now, I've done a wheelchair before when I had sciatica before, and we actually did Disneyland, and that is great because you go to the front of the line.
Well, yeah, they VIP you.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go, and if they don't have time for you, they give you a come back in 30 minutes pass.
Yep. So that was the one time where it was you felt like they're taking care of you,
yeah.
Right?
Disney does do accessibility very well.
But if you notice, I think I was the only person there in a wheelchair.
There were people with walkers. There's people in mobility scooters, but
canes.
Yes, you were the only person I saw in a wheelchair.
Yeah, and I think it was the first time I ever did. I had to use a wheelchair indoors. Disneyland is outdoors mostly. Yeah. So indoors, it was like
door jams. And
trying to go to the men's room. Okay, it was nuts.
Yeah, we'll have to do a handoff, and I'll hold the chair while
I limp in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of course, I had to bring that laptop, so the backpack hanging off the back of the chair. Every time I got up, it would just fall back. So of course, it fell back in the middle of the men's room while I'm trying to stand at the urinal, because the handicap spot, the ADA spot, was taken. Obviously, all able-bodied people love the big open space of the wheelchair thing. But then when someone actually needs it, is when you're an asshole.
Yep.
So I came in there, I wheeled in there, and there's someone standing there like flushing or whatever. I'm like, well, I can't go in there right now. I really need to go. So I pulled up to the urinal just across from it, and I got up, started peeing. I didn't realize the whole thing had fallen back the minute I stood up. So everybody that's coming out of the stalls was having to step over your jacket, my bag, and this wheelchair just strewn in front of like 2-3 doors.
And did nothing, of course.
And did nothing to pick it up or help me. Just stepped over and walked around.
Interesting.
Walked away. Yeah. And what I've noticed
people are kind.
What I've noticed is because you're lower.
Yeah, no one's using their lower periphery.
Oh yeah, they are.
Vision.
Oh yeah, they are. You know where you're stepping. So they weren't going to step on me, but they were going to look over me and pretend like I did not exist, so that they could just cut in front of me as I'm trying to roll into a door. it was kind of interesting to watch. It's like,
And
just
I'm
like,
also amazed by the number of people who are just like, I'm just going to stand in the middle of this aisle, and then also be really mad when I'm like, excuse me, can you please move? And they get,
that's kind of interesting.
it's like,
You are shitty humans. And you're supposed to be like
like
one of them.
people are so incredibly oblivious.
I always thought that people, sort of in the BDSM community, the alt lifestyle community, we generally do. I feel like have bigger hearts and care more for others and things like that. But I also noticed, like, especially in like bigger cities like LA, the BDSM community is really infiltrated by a lot of shitheads.
Yep.
A lot of, and there's a lot of racism too, and a lot of
Yeah.
bigotry, and that's
And
why.
ableism.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
ableism runs real deep.
Yeah. So hey, yeah, you look super hot, and you're like in your high heels and corset, whatever, walk around in public like you're a naughty person, but you're a despicable human being
Yeah,
for
you
not
you can
acknowledging
be
others.
hot dom on campus, but you could still be a fucking good person.
Yeah, you can still be a nice person, but no. Well, because if you're not a nice person to begin with,
Yeah.
and you get into BDSM, you're not gonna be a nice person after or during.
Yeah.
We've noticed that with some of the bitches we've met. Pure bitches. Regardless,
Speaking of bitches, we did not run into any bitches.
we did not run into any of the bitches that are either criminals or horrible leaders, but we did meet a new friend
We met a new
on the way
friend.
out.
Oh my goodness!
But we can talk about that later. Let's talk about
Cool. Got to see Shui.
yeah.
I don't mind like using their names specifically because they are very publicly attached
true.
to this event. It'd be very easy to find them.
Right.
And
right.
also, Shui is also her scene name. So
Yeah, I mean, and we can mention Master Joshua.
yeah, we got to see quite literally Master Joshua.
He did not. I don't know if he knew that we were there, so we just kind of saw him.
I don't
off
think
and-
he registered that it was us, but I'm sure Kat was like, "Did you see? Did you
Well,
see them?"
while you were there talking, I go like, "Oh, he's there like with one person. I'll wheel in there."
Mhm.
So I wheeled in there, and I'm like 2 feet away from him, but he's like turned and talking, and I was like, and I saw like people were coming in for the next thing. I was like, "Oh, I better get out of here." So I just wheeled back out without talking to him or like waving at him.
Aw.
And so I'm sure he saw like guy in wheelchair.
Well, I waved at him when he came out, and he like recognized, but he was also like going to return implements that he used for the demo and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So I'm sure we'll run into him today. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure Kat and Shui were like, "Did you see them?" And he was like, "Fuck."
No, that's all right.
And he liked and shared my Instagram stories that I had tagged him in. So he knows we were there. We will find him.
We will find him. But we did get to see Kat and Shui.
And we also got to meet Miss Karma Said and picked up her book.
Oh, are you gonna take that back?
So Joshua can sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this book that you picked up is called what? You want to tell us about it?
It is Surviving Master Joshua, the BDSM Memoir of an Unfaithful Wife by Karma Said. I'll just read the back because that'll probably put it a lot better than I can. This is a true story. Master Joshua is a pansexual, polyamorous pro-dom, the term for a male dominatrix or a man who dominates others for money. He leads a BDSM tribe, and when we met was battling accusations of rape and abuse. Master Joshua wasn't the intended subject of my story until I became it. My own name doesn't matter. I can't use it here anyway. Suffice it to say, I was a reporter and a comfortably married mother of two. But following Joshua deeper and deeper into the New York sexual underground, I towed and crossed the line between observer and participant, self-discovery and self-destruction, right and wrong. Our experiences changed me. I lied and cheated to facilitate them, though a lying cheater was not who I wanted to become. I wanted to remain a good wife and mother and a decent person. So did Joshua. But we couldn't have our cake and eat it too, or could we?
So that'll be a good read.
Yeah,
And,
so it's very much about finding the BDSM at the least opportune moment and
working through it
yeah.
and realizing, what is what and how people can be. So that'll be a good read. And you got to get
I
it
got
signed.
it signed by Karma.
And you wanted to get it signed by Josh, but it was frenetic.
Yeah, it was a little busy.
The location that it was at, the hotel, I feel like the facilities were kind of cramped. There was no like big room,
Yeah.
really. Not like a Winter Fire in Baltimore.
Yeah, where there's just the whole ballroom for
Fucking
milling space.
Fucking huge ballroom with a second floor, like, mezzanine balcony type of thing.
I loved people watching from up there.
People watching from there and watching all the play and everything from above.
It was so badass.
It was pretty cool.
It's never gonna be at that hotel again, but shit.
And let's not forget how awesome as you were as like right in front of the front, the middle, front of stage, getting like groped by like lots of people for your birthday, lots of people.
And the human I have the most massive internet crush on.
Yes, they participated. Okay. Anyway, so we saw a couple. We were able to make 2 or 3 classes.
Yes,
workshops. So the first one we made we really wanted to go to the flogging, the impact class with Master Joshua, but we got there when it was like almost in the middle of it, and we don't want to,
We're not those people who walk into a class halfway through
and stand in front of other people or crowd you or.
There was an altercation at the back of a classroom at some point.
Oh yeah, I heard it. And some woman like said, "You're fucking rude, okay?" And like I turn around, I just see this woman turning away from this guy.
He grabbed her arm when she came through the door. Like, don't fucking touch me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, fake Dom. What else? So the class, that was the class. Was that the first class we were in?
No, that was the second. So our first class we did Brat All About It with Lola Jean.
It was
It was really cute.
It was
I
cute.
liked her a lot.
Yes, really good energy.
She was hot as hell. Her
Yeah.
outfit was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay, so it was very yeah, it was pretty good.
So she kind of broke down some of the psychology of bratting. Kind of broke it out into like the different kinds of brat there can be. Like, is it an attention brat or a trust brat, an autonomy brat? So it was really interesting to think of bratting in those terms, and realizing I'm a trust/attention brat.
Oh, well, it's like people always try to want to put labels on things so it can kind of like have
make it make sense.
Have a common
But
like,
probably
terminology.
what I would add, I had the word. The other way I would describe my bratting. Oh, validation bratting.
Right.
Just like more just like validate me, and it's probably very closely attached to attention, but like just kind of like tell me I'm doing a good job.
Yep.
Like tell me I'm pretty. Like hey, and it is like I loved how much she equated it to a cat because it's a fucking cat. You just have to figure out what they need. What are you screaming at me for?
Well, would you consider Smudge a bratty cat? I don't think Smudge is a bratty cat at all. She's bratty to like, hey, Moxie, stop lick. Moxie's like licking Rocket's butthole.
That's gross.
Well, I mean, under certain circumstances, but we all love butthole licking.
Yeah, no, I would say that Smudge is a bratty cat, but she is a very, like...
She's a respectful bratty cat.
She's a very respectful bratty.
If you, she actually is pretty good, because if you like correct her for something, like not jumping on this thing, she won't do it. She might try a few more times afterwards.
She might like act like, I'ma do it.
Oh, you think that's her being bratty? That's her being bratty, isn't it? It's like Smudge, like, no, I wasn't going to do anything. She's so super cute. Where are you, Smudge? Come here.
She just walked into the kitchen. She's probably going to get some water.
All right. Anyway, the second class we saw, workshop, was, I think, no, it wasn't.
Psychological slave training with Mistress Chi.
Mistress Chi was interesting because she's pro-dom, been a pro-dom for 20 years.
And a PhD in psychology.
Yeah, a whole bunch of like a raft of letters behind her name.
A lot.
And it was pretty good. It was hard not to, but I had to compare her to who was the pro dom that we saw attended a workshop up here with? She
Midori.
yes, Midori.
Oh, yeah.
So it was hard not to compare the two.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I don't know. Just I think they both had a little similar but kind of different vibes.
Mhm. I mean, what I liked about hers was how, like, when you think about what she's talking about as far as like, no, like, talk it through, assert your dominance throughout the entire scene. Like, that verbal storytelling is more of what I need to learn.
Yeah.
Because I need to get better about, like, more communication in scene. You know, should I ever be on the top situation?
Well, okay. In that respect, I mean, how did what you gleaned from Mistress Chi, how did that compare to, like, how I have
I think
domed you?
it's kind of the pieces that I've enjoyed the most. Like I've told you, I love those little glimmers in between what's actually happening. Whether it's you growling in my ear that I'm gonna fuck you up,
Yeah.
or oh, you're doing so good, or like those little fucking things. Just it is a huge trigger of I'm doing so good. Like I go deeper.
One of the things that I always try to work is like not to sort of like interrupt.
Yeah, not to pull out.
Not to interrupt the flow of the scene, or like where or either our headspaces are, but also checking in to make sure that you're still okay and you're still like you have not gone off. I played with one person and they did tell me that when they get really like their subspaces like catatonic and quiet, and I knew that was going to happen, but when it did, it freaked me out.
Yeah.
So it's like there was no, it was like are you okay?
That was the piece I loved that Lola Jean talked about in the bratting. Was just because you get the desired reaction you're looking for, aka your brat shutting up, because they're dissociated, is not necessarily the desired way you got there.
Now see, for me, I don't want to shut up my brats, because when they get bratty,
it's cute.
It's very cute, but also it gives me another reason to hurt them.
What?
And so that it's just kind of like
we should try that out.
We will try it out. I think it's.
We have. I don't think we've ever done like an actual bratty scene. Like we've had scenes where I'm like, no, like I.
Those are like we're goofing around and like having fun. But yeah, that was good. I think it was what I got out of it was I appreciated her explaining sort of the levels that you can go to and like ways to like trigger words to kind of keep reinforcing the direction you want to go to. Because I never really thought of it that way. I thought of more like I don't want to ruin the flow, and so instead of like I want to check in with you, making
it part of the flow.
So instead of like going like, "Hey, you doing okay?" But like you like that, and so like if I get a response like, "Yeah, like, yes, PapaBear," then I know like you're still with me, you're enjoying it, you're okay, and then we can keep going. So that for me was kind of intuitive. No one had to tell me to do that. So
yeah, but I do. It is interesting. Her what is it? Hypnotic.
Rhythmic words and things like that.
Hypnotic coaching, as she's administering, impact and pain. I thought that was like it's really interesting, and brain wise, it totally makes sense. Like your words as the dominant, like literally setting the scene to go with what's happening.
That's pretty interesting.
And yeah, like you telling me, like what you're getting out of it, like, oh, you're doing so good, like you're taking this pain so well, oh, look at that beautiful cane mark on my thighs, like like yeah, that'd be really fucking hot, like.
Okay, that was pretty good. Although the facility, the room was
so small, not
ventilated, overly cramped, and like people were like stepping over my leg, and one of them actually kicked it and it's a little pain shooting up my leg. I was like, you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. Oh, I got to definitely bring that cane thing, because I can like just stick it in front and like poke people. Like, hey, watch out.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. You're about to kick my foot. Anyway, so the third class we saw, not the last one of the day, I believe, because it was
Yep.
getting late.
Was the energetics of flogging with Orpheus Black and his magnificent wife Indigo.
They were awesome. They had a good energy.
Oh god, their
and
dynamic is fucking beautiful.
they're very cute
They're
together.
so adorable. They both have such kind faces, and they're magical human beings. Oh my god, the amount of knowledge that is in their brains. I want to listen to them talk for hours.
Yeah. You know what? I would say that you're probably close to that level. You have a lot of knowledge as well. You may not have as much practical knowledge as they do.
Well, and also because of who Orpheus Black is, like he is a very like deep spiritual person.
Yeah.
Like I believe he's an actual like spiritual leader, like guru level, like
Yeah.
which is fucking phenomenal. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. And to bring that into kink, because he talked about I forget the actual term and I don't want to mispronounce it, but like the different Hindu terms for like
Yeah.
the outside and the inside. Like it was just really
No,
beautifully done.
I needed subtitles because like, what the fuck? How do you spell that? So we can all look that up if we want to know more.
Yeah.
But,
So it was really beautiful, and of course, like, you know, talking about consent and nerves and areas you shouldn't hit,
Yeah.
and also talking about the extended health of the dominant side, as far as how to make sure that you're not hurting yourself when you are flogging.
It's a very it doesn't seem strenuous, but after you're like
After a 30-minute flogging session.
well, no, you start feeling it after like 15, 30 seconds. Where you're like getting repetitive motion, which I need to work on, of course, and build that muscle memory. I think I'm on the verge of like being able to Florentine.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I get it, but it's like if I lose my concentration, because it's really more about like coming down with the front of your hand, but then being able to pull up and then go to your opposite side with that hand and coming back down with the flogger with the back side of your hand.
Yeah, I think
So it's like if I was gonna spank your butt, like hand palm, boom, and then swing back, and then backhand like that.
I definitely want to try with like the staying more centered, keeping a smaller body, not extending as much. I think that's definitely part of what I need to work on, especially with the titties, which he did again. Great representation, making sure, hey, women with big titties, the best way to do this is, keep center, put your arm over the titty.
Or if you're only using one, you stand to the side.
Yeah, stand sideways.
Yeah, like a fencer.
Yeah, so I liked how accessible he makes flogging. It was really awesome.
We should practice a lot. So we have the dogs sitting in front of us. So while we're watching TV, we could flog them for practice. Right? That'd
I
be
do not
fun.
want my leather touching those stinky dogs.
No, we have to get special dog floggers.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
They're the ones.
No.
The ones with like treats on the end. that would drive them crazy.
Although I'm not gonna lie, when he was talking about like the original like the scourge and scorpions, we used to drag it through glass, and I was like, yeah.
I know. I was like, well, we could drag it through treats, drag it through catnip.
No, of course, me being.
I know.
Ooh, I like bleeding. That's fun.
But you're gonna have to work up to that.
Well, absolutely, but the little monster in my brain is like, do it.
I know. You're a little
Murder me.
All right.
But yeah, it was a really great class. It was probably my favorite of the day. I'm really glad we made it to that one.
And then we could have stayed longer, and we were concerned because of rush hour. But by the time we got out, we pulled out of the parking garage about 7 o'clock.
Yeah, a little after 7.
And it only took us an hour to get home.
Yeah.
It was just surprising. Usually in rush hour.
On
especially
Friday
on
night.
a Friday. But we noticed the traffic was more heavy coming into town. So it looks like a lot of events were going on in LA, and people were driving in for a Friday night thing, and we were kind of like missing that, which is good.
Yeah. So we'll probably hit similar today, except heavier traffic going down.
Yeah. But it's not gonna be a big rush. You don't have to like go crazy.
Nope.
You were like every time you like slam the brakes on hard or like accelerating hard, it was causing me to shift a little bit and causing pain to shoot through my hip. So I was like saying, "Yeah, we're not in a hurry." You're like, "I know," yelling at everybody else, flashing your lights.
I didn't flash at anyone on the way down. Thank you.
Uh, you didn't? I thought you did.
No.
I thought you pretty much flashed to everybody because you were like, ding, ding, ding. Oh, you're doing your windshield wipers.
No, I didn't do that.
Oh, on the way home you were. That's for sure.
Yeah, because I just want to get the fuck home.
I know. Anyway, we're going to try to make it out here to some more, go back down today. We're having our coffee and kind of chillaxing.
And we're going to discuss our day.
All right. So, what do you think about the first ones we'll probably be able to make? What's the first one you think? We already decided that we're going to let the morning be shot.
Yes, we are bypassing the morning, which includes, let's see, in the first segment of classes, there's Enough to Make You Blush, which we attended, or I attended, back in Baltimore when we went to Winter Fire.
All right, and who told?
That's with Princess Callie.
Oh, I didn't go to that, did I?
I think we went to 2 of her classes. One my girlfriend and I went to, and one you and I went to, I think that was the one where you met your person in that rope class.
Oh, yes.
I think that was one of the ones where we divided.
Met someone I'd met to like just do some tying or something.
Yeah, I think you went to Ties to Choke.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ties to Choke by or something like that.
Yeah.
So then the other class was Fun, Pretty, Versatile, Wearable Rope Bondage. I mean, we know how to do that shit. The Doctor is in, Medical Play in its many incarnations. That one did sound interesting, but not interesting enough to force us to get out of bed before like 8 o'clock.
And then we'll just be tired and grumpy and grouchy.
And then Intro to Sissy Maids, a class for sissies and the sissy curious, which again sounds great, but doesn't necessarily apply to us or our interests.
Yes.
So second group of classes, which we could feasibly, like if we literally shower as soon as we are done with this, so it's like, meh. There is, and I'll read descriptions for these. Let's see, let me find the day on here. All right, first class in the 1 o'clock slot is how to create and maintain a service relationship. And let's see, the term service often conjures images of household drudgery, but there are many ways someone can be of service beyond household tasks, including fetish service, sexual service, and so much more. For some kinksters, there's nothing like scrubbing away at the floor or toilet with a stern dominant looking on in silent judgment or ignores them from the next room. But if you think unwashed dishes and dirty laundry are the only options, this class will expand your service horizons no matter which side of the dynamic you're on. It's like interesting, but because like we have talked about, you know, more servicey relationships.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's I think for us trying to like sort of get back into the swing of things,
we need to focus on what we need, not what we want eventually.
And I think it's more like not that we're learning anything new, but more that we are, you know, sort of like
It's a jump start.
Getting re-indoctrinated, or sort of like getting.
Oh no!
Like a cult?
Oh no!
I don't mean it. You know what I mean? It's like kind of immersing ourselves back into like, you know, that sort of energy. Because I feel like we've been out of it because of the pandemic.
Yeah, it felt really, really good to be.
Yeah.
Kind of back in that energy.
And around, you know, for the most part, like-minded people.
Yeah.
You know, every group's going to have their bitches.
Yeah. All right,
so
the next class is Neurology of the Kinky Brain 2.0. Oh, no, never mind. The Science of S&M Neurology of the Kinky Brain. Let's see, that is Fetish is not a mental illness or a moral failure. Join us as we explore the neuroscience of S&M. I always like learning about the psychology of what we do.
Yeah.
Could be interesting.
That could be interesting.
Next is latex care and styling. Welcome to Latex and Styling, a class for everyone, anyone who wishes to express themselves with fashion and latex. We will cover care, vendors, styling, measurements, and so much more. Neither of us own any latex. I would like to try eventually, but today is not that day.
All I can think of is sweatsuits.
I know, it sounds so sweaty.
Could you imagine just like how slippery and slimy and gross
Like I
it would get
have
underneath
boob
the-
sweat right now and I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
And then the last class for the 1 o'clock segment is Addicted to Crack. Hands-on workshop for single-tailed whips on the primarily horizontal plane, 4 feet or less whips. Eye protection highly recommended. Focuses on swing flip technique and variations. Ample practice time included.
Okay, not just eye protection. I would wear a full helmet because, and that would be the class that I would attend because I really we don't have any whips. We got a dragon tail, but I really want to
A single tail.
become proficient at single tails
Yeah.
and even Florentine single tails.
Mhm.
We saw that at the one of the
Yeah, I'm
side
like, of
things.
course, when Orpheus was like, yeah, you're allowed to touch any of these except these, and pulls out these vicious fucking,
They looked awesome.
oh, God. I was like, no, I want those. I want someone to hit me with those.
Oh, we should if we see him, maybe we try to, or just maybe I'll reach out and ask him who his custom maker is.
Yeah, who
if he's
he
willing to-
likes.
or who he could recommend.
Yeah.
And say, so like not just for floggers, but for whips. He may not be the whip guy, but whoever makes floggers, can make a whip.
Yeah, well, I know if he doesn't do single tails, he knows someone who does and
Yeah.
who they like to use.
Yeah, I bet he does single tails too.
I wouldn't be surprised. I did send him an Instagram message,
Oh, that's good.
and he was like, "Oh, I see you're a podcast host. Send me the link."
Oh, did you send the whole link, the link tree?
No, I just sent him the Apple thing.
All right, so those are all the classes for the one that we could make if we wanted to.
Yeah, if we left right this second, pretty
Yeah.
much, or right as soon as we're done with this.
I'm not ready to move right at this second.
That's perfectly okay. All right, so then the next time chunk is the 2:30 to 3:30.
Yeah.
And classes include nonverbal communication through the eyes of a deaf pro dom. That could be interesting. Deaf individuals have an exceptional ability to use and read nonverbal communication. They pick up on very subtle facial and body movements. An important aspect of body language is the use of touch. Touching another person is used in deaf culture to greet, say goodbye, get attention, and express emotion. Learn the different types of nonverbal communication and how to use them in your kink lifestyle scene sessions and even communicating with someone who is deaf. You will learn terms and person-centered language to use for and within the deaf community. Additionally, learn some kinky-friendly ASL signs.
Early on in my journey, before we even met, I had a few more veteran, experienced people that were sort of like mini mentors to me. And I especially had like 3 or 4 that were like very well versed in rope, but also one that was like very old school, high protocol. BDSM.
Original leather.
Yeah, just hardcore.
Like has been in the lifestyle for
too long,
decades,
and has now dropped out.
Yeah,
which is more of an ageism thing.
Well, I think it's that, and also getting burnt out by the organization she had volunteered for.
Yes, of previously mentioned bitches.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I was saying was, she had like a couple regular partners, I think 1 or 2, that were hard of hearing, and so they would use like cues, or she had, oh no, wait a minute, she would switch, and she had a top that was hearing impaired, and so they developed cues, like hand signals, foot signals, or sometimes holding a handkerchief. Holding something that's visible, that when it's let go, because if you let go of it, it's easy to let go of something, especially if you're like need to use your safe word.
Yeah.
Or if you like pass out and you can no longer like function, that's a signal like, okay, this person's not in control of their
Yeah,
body.
and we say handkerchief, or I've heard ribbon being used because if you drop a ball can roll away.
It can fall really quick and disappear and never be
Yeah,
noticed.
and you might never realize it. So something that is more attached and longer, that's better.
Like a ribbon wrapped around, tied to your wrist.
And bunched in the hand.
Yes, that would be good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so maybe we don't need to attend that.
Like, it'd be interesting from a deeper perspective, and also getting the perspective of someone who is a deaf pro dom.
Right.
But again, probably not necessarily much new knowledge, except for like little teeny tiny pieces.
And it's in an area that's like we're not necessarily needing to brush up on. So what else is there?
Next is Neurology of the Kinky Brain 2.0, Practical Applications and Neurohacking. So this is the part 2 of the class in the previous section. Where did it go? So the description for this one: learn how to use neurohacking techniques to enhance your intimacy in your BDSM scenes and go deeper. It's like, again, talking about neurology and psychology. Like, I'm all about that.
Yeah. That's contender.
Yeah. And then make kink not war the bonobo way. More than ever, we need to make kink not war. The springboard for version 6.0 of Sexologist of the Year, Dr. Susie's popular Bonobo Way at DomCon series. Journey into the make kink not war world of the bonobo femdoms of the wild and the human world of the kink positive therapy. Release your inner bonobo through kink, female empowerment, male well-being, and peace through pleasure power of the bonobo way, the key to humanity's future, if humanity does have a future. Free signed books for the first 5. Phenomenal declared Goddess Soma after one day of Dr. Susie's packed presentation. Don't miss it.
Okay, bonobo. That's in reference to bonobo monkeys?
Yeah, your monkey brain.
Okay.
It was like, I get it.
Yeah.
And then last class is Addicted to Crack 2, using single-tailed whips on the vertical plane, primarily overhand and underhand throws and variants thereof. I will say the Addicted to Crack rooms are both in the big back room. If that influences anything.
The Addicted to Crack. Yeah. Well, single tail whips. I was sad that we missed that one class. Yeah. But maybe I can check this one out. And this is something more that would probably be you would probably do in play. Mm-hmm. Kind of underhanded and overhand as opposed to sideways, because it's like you're oftentimes
in a play space with other people.
Right. Oh, and going back to the whole playing deaf play. Sometimes you
can't hear.
You can't even hear because in the dungeons and play spaces they're blaring music, and oftentimes it's really gross, like screeching industrial,
like you went to DOS Bunker instead of Threshold.
Whereas my playlist,
it's more sensual and melodic.
Yeah. Well, of course it's called the Chill Rig list, and if anybody wants that, I will post a link with it. But it's some great music, initially created to tie with. So music to tie with was what I was thinking. Mm-hmm. And I'm a pretty sensual rope rigger. Yep. Yeah. Okay, going back to so my I think crack would be the one, but the other one, there was one that we really liked. The first one.
How to create and maintain a service relationship?
No.
Or nonverbal through the eyes of a deaf pro dom, neurology. Yeah, I would have to say it'd be either Addicted to Crack or the neurology ones.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But as far as comfortability in the room it's happening in, I would rather be in B2 than A2.
Okay, so Addicted to Crack it is.
Like, I know that's a really weird way to make a class.
That's why, but it'd be horrible in there. Yeah. And
even if we go in late or are running behind for a class in B2,
we can still kind of
I feel a lot better about sneaking in that class because we can easily just slide in at the back.
Yeah. So okay, we're gonna see that one. The next one, corporal punishment essentials?
Let's see. Corporal punishment is a type of BDSM impact play that includes traditional aesthetics, wardrobe-specific interaction, and technique particular to the kink. Learn the essentials of classic corporal punishment scenes. Meh. You already know how to beat me.
What?
What?
Oh, I think this next one is probably the one we will attend because it's
yes.
Miss Cat.
It's our buds.
Negotiation and connection. You want to read that really quickly?
Join Miss Cat for a roundtable discussion about in-depth negotiation and how it leads to connection. Meaningful connection is what we all seek, regardless of which side of the slash we are on and what our kinks and fetishes are. Yes, Miss Cat is part of the same crew as Master Joshua and Shui and
the Kink Collective.
The Kink
based
Collective
out of
back
New York.
in New York City.
Yep.
Yes.
That's one we'll probably attend. Let's check out the other two: communication and conflict resolution tools in power exchange.
One of the main causes of relationships ending is a breakdown in communication and the inability to resolve conflict within it. Many relationships can not only be saved but thrive with strong communication and conflict resolution skills. Others realize through communication that they should have never stayed together for as long as they have. Join Master Chris as he reveals some of the reasons why we have breakdowns in communication and some tools that can be used to get everyone on the same page. Sounds like a great class. I'm sure it's going to help a lot of people.
This sounds like a class we could teach.
Yeah.
Because we've negotiated all that and put it into a 11-page contract.
And I like that whenever you'll send me Reddits, and if we read through them, the majority of what we end up just saying is fucking talk about it.
I know.
Fucking talk.
Communicate. Use your words. Okay, so the last one, sensual domination.
Sensual domination is the slow and focused use of contrasting sensations to create energy flow in order to sustain deeper connections with your partner. That's it.
That's okay. I think we will definitely attend a negotiating and connection with Miss Cat.
Miss Cat.
So now the last classes, there's only 2 of them, and they're both in the gross rooms.
The one's taught by Miss Cat.
I know, and it's a lifestyle dynamic. So we could probably go there early and set up, maybe just set up right in the front.
Yep.
Because it's definitely much more breathing room, and no one's gonna stand in front of me or trip over my when I try to step over my feet.
Yeah, we'll try to get into the smaller rooms earlier, but it looks like we're really only.
Oh yeah, A2. Oh.
Yeah, we'd be in the same room.
So we need to go there earlier and just camp out, or we could even suffer the first one with Cat, and then in the 30 minutes between, we could just wheel up there and
True.
make
Although
a
I
space.
bet we probably won't be the only people staying.
Yeah.
But I would say, get there earlier. Just scooch up front.
Yeah.
They're going to be in there to, set up and stuff anyway, so we'll be chatting with them.
Okay, so that means we have 4 hours between now and the beginning of that class. So we probably want to get into that classroom by probably 3.5 hours. Well, not 3.5, 3 hours and 45 minutes. About 15 minutes before, so we can get a place. I think we're good with time.
Yeah, we're perfectly fine with time.
All right.
And we've talked about how the earlier stuff we're not super attached to. So it's one of those things where as long as we're there by 3:30, we're fine today. At the absolute latest. If we make this class section the 2:30 to 3:30.
Right.
Super cool.
Right.
But if we only go down for part of it, I'm totally fine today.
Yeah. And it's more just to meet, see more of our friends.
And it's also Saturday, so there will probably be the most people there today.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, anyway.
Tomorrow's going to be slightly fewer people, but it's going to be the most amount today.
Right. So we'll have to be much more patient with everybody.
Yes. And we could probably even ask Kat, hey, can we reserve a spot at the front?
Do you want to send her a message now? Just, hey.
We'll see them at Karma's
Right.
table as soon as we walk in.
Yeah, that's true. All right. That's it for this episode. Next episode, we will give you a quick recap of how today went.
Yeah, our day 2, day, and then our day 3 planning.
Exactly. So thank you much for listening in, and be sure to check us out on the Weirdos Online. And thank you for being a supporter of Weirdos. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ta.
Smash your social mores with the weirdos next door.